So what if you choose एउटा path, त्यहाँ गएपछि हुन्छ नि you reach a point and then you realize shit यार म त यहाँ आउनु खोजेकै थिएन, like how did I even end up here हुन्छ नि. Like, is that what you really want or is that what you think you want because society tells you that is what you should want?
The thing you should fear most rather than making the wrong decision is to like not making any decision ke. Pros and cons sabko list banaunda you just get like so engulfed in it ke. Should you like plan ahead or go with the flow khale ke?
See them हुन्छ नि Saturday farmers market मा गएर and they're like हुन्छ नि with their friends, hi भनौं कि नभनौं, and they look at you and you look at them but they look back, अब hi भन्नु is too awkward हुन्छ नि. लाइफ मा एकचोटी मात्र लभ हुन्छ खाली के.
Make a decision and make the best out of it, okay? If you're not happy when you're poor, you will definitely not be happy when you're rich. If you're not happy when you're single, you will definitely not be happy when you're in a relationship, okay? Hi everyone, I'm Kritisha.
And I am Aditya.
And we'd like to welcome you all to Dhikichyau The Podcast, and this is episode 18.
Damn.
Yeah. So basically, what we're going to talk about today, and I think a couple of more episodes, is what next?
Yeah.
Like literally, what next? Because I think, after each milestone, I know, be it SLC or like A-level source or plus 2 or like bachelor source, like there's always that question, okay, aba ke garchhau?
Yeah.
Like what next? What are your plans? How do you see yourself in 10 years down the line or 5 years down the line? And I think most of us are like, you know, grilled by that question.
Yeah.
Like from others and by ourselves. So I thought,
we thought
it would be better to like, why not talk about this in a series maybe, perhaps?
And kind of figure that out for ourselves and also like help, you know, people who are listening figure that out. Because at our age, it's really that you have like so many pathways to choose from.
Yeah.
And like what next? And I think like this is something you face every milestone. And I think we'll have more milestones to come in our life, and we will be stuck at the same crossroads again. You know? And so how do we, you know, learn to make decisions that actually are ours? And मलाई चाहिँ एकदमै जहिले पनि स्क्यारी लाग्ने चीज चाहिँ हामी एउटा यो क्रस सेक्सनमा छ हैन, and they're like all these paths हुन्छ नि, you can go this way, you can go that way, you can go that way. They're like, so what if you choose एउटा path and you go गयो हैन, त्यहाँ गएपछि हुन्छ नि you reach a point and then you realize shit यार म त यहाँ आउनु खोजेकै थिएन, like how did I even end up here हुन्छ नि, this is not what I want in life खाली. Like अनि मेरो चाहिँ सबभन्दा I think one of the biggest fear I have in my life is that
to like reach somewhere and realize that that's not what you want at all.
Exactly. And to actually figure out हुन्छ नि what you want is that what you really want or is that what you think you want? Okay? Because
bro, this
society
is like too scary, man.
Right? Is that what you really want or is that what you think you want because society tells you that is what you should want?
Damn. Right.
So I think like at the age of 22, when you've, you know, done with the bachelor's and you have this decision to make whether to do like further studies or like get a job or like I know stay. हाम्रो चाहिँ नेपाली केसमा चाहिँ नेपाल बस्ने कि बाहिर विदेश जाने is another dubida ke. And I think like this question is faced like very early on in like हाम्रो नेपालीहरुको context मा चाहिँ, because मान्छेहरु like 10 सिदिने बित्तिकै they are 11 12 सिदिने बित्तिकै or बिचमा नि they go out to study नि त हैन, and like त्यो decision पनि के अब so class 10 सिधेपछि you're like हुन्छ नि SLC SS अहिले SEE yeah, so त्यो सिधेपछि हुन्छ नि I'll be a grown up, I'll have a bike, I'll do whatever I want, I can go wherever खाली हुन्छ. Then त्यो plus 2 and A-levels or IB or whatever course you're doing, त्यसको stress hits you, and after that the question arises, bachelor's यहाँ गर्ने कि Australia जाने कि US जाने कि हुन्छ नि, where am I going to end up? अनि then there's another hassle to that हुन्छ नि. Then you know life goes on, same crossroads.
But like like you said हुन्छ नि अघि भर्खर the fear of हुन्छ नि choosing a path and then realizing that's not what you want खालिको
Yeah.
that's sort of like I think that's a very it sounds very scary and I don't think that's how you should look at it. Because
what do you
I mean like no matter what decision you make like तिमीले त्योबाट सिक्नु पर्छ भन्ने जस्तो चाहिँ लाग्छ क्या मलाई like you can't just be like हुन्छ नि okay मैले यो path choose गरे and like that's you being हुन्छ नि the opportunity cost खोजे जस्तो भयो क्या त्यो because like I mean all I'm trying to say is you have to be content with what you have right now. Okay,
so तिमीले जुन बाटो हिँड्न चुज गरे पनि
you have to be content with like throughout. Okay, because obviously like you meet like hundreds of people and hundreds of people have hundreds of different stories and obviously you're not gonna experience the same thing as they are going to experience Nita. But what's unique is your story and what you have become all the way along.
So are you saying the bato does not matter as much as the way you walk?
Explain garo na.
So I mean like you said like timi jun pani bato choose gare pani if you walk with content huncha ni if you walk with like ambition or whatever junai path choose gare pani you're going to do well because everybody has their own path and the thing you talked about opportunity cost is life ma jaile pani tyo huncha because
Definitely.
you have the crossroad uharu हैन and then suppose abo okay you choose to stay in Nepal and do something here rather than going out and getting a further education हुन्छ नि तिमी नेपालमा बस्यो भने you will always have that oh shit म बाहिर गएको भए कस्तो गएको भए के हुन्थ्यो होला खाली that thought तिमी बाहिर गएको भए you will always have that म नेपाल बसेर I could have done this I could have done that so there's always that opportunity cost
definitely
so there's never like कुनै पनि path choose गरे पनि even though you're happy your mind keeps wondering what if
exactly
what if and what next
oh yeah
oh my god I think like this is the most frequently asked question to ourselves when we are in our 20s. Okay?
Yeah.
What if and what next?
Yeah, I think because the thing you should fear most rather than making the wrong decision is to like not making any decision. Okay? I swear, man, that's like even more toxic. Okay? Just like pick something and like do it. Okay?
Okay, even if it's a wrong decision,
exactly,
at least you will know that it's a wrong decision.
Exactly.
Then maybe that can help you to like make the right decision.
That's what.
So don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to make wrong choices in life.
Yup.
Okay.
That's it. Like because त्यो हुन्छ नि डिसिजन बनाउने डिले गर्नु जस्तो नराम्रो कुरा के पनि नै हैन के.
But like don't you think like हाम्रो अहिले generationमा we've got so much options that it like literally makes you numb के.
That's right. That's true.
Like के चाहिँ गर्ने भने अब see है अब मेरो I know SLC दिएपछि you have the option to like do +2 or A levels or IB or like I don't know के courses हरु आइसक्यो हुन्छ नि but then at one point हाम्रो ड्याडहरुको पारामा चाहिँ like they knew what they had to do there was no option के बुझ्यो SLC दिएपछि +2 त गर्ने हो खाली but now you have to choose you have to talk to people who've done A levels and you have to like forecast A levels गर्यो भने बाहिर जान सजिलो हुन्छ यो गर्न सजिलो हुन्छ त्यो गर्न सजिलो हुन्छ and think about all of those and those options अब झन् the more further you go अब हाम्रो bachelor's सिधै हैन what next MBA गर्ने कि masters in this masters in that get a job यो फिल्डमा काम गर्ने त्यो फिल्डमा काम गर्ने नेपाल बस्ने बाहिर जाने so many options makes you numb के
right
makes you literally numb के त्यो के भन्छ डिसिजन नै बनाउन नसक्ने के
paralysis from analysis
yes हुन्छ नि and you're so scared of making the wrong decision that you end up not making one
exactly I think that is the biggest problem के त्यो हुन्छ नि धेरैवटा अप्सन भएर you just like are so engulfed in weighing each option and like what is good what is bad pros and cons सबको लिस्ट बनाउँदा you just get like so engulfed in it के अब like if you think about it अहिले पहिला लाइक तिमीले भने जस्तै हाम्रो पेरेन्ट्सहरुको वालामा त धेरै अप्सन चाहिँ थिएन अनि लाइक हुन्छ नि त्यो सेन्स अफ बिलिफ पनि अहिले कम भइरहेछ नि त सो पीपल आर लाइक रिस्पोन्सिबल फर देयर ओन एक्सन्स के नाउ पहिला त ओके यस्तो यस्तो मान्छेहरूले चाहिँ यस्तो यस्तो गर्नुपर्छ लाइक हुन्छ नि डिस्टिङसन आउने बित्तिकै साइन्स पढ्नुपर्छ खाले त्यस्तो रुल अफ थम्सहरू हुन्छ नि द्याट डजन्ट मेक सेन्स नाउ क्या
बट त्यसले गर्दाखेरि इट मेड अब आम नट सेङ लाइक इट्स राइट अर रङ हुन्छ नि बट देन देयर वाज अ सेट पाथ क्या पहिले अनि तिम्रो जुन चाहिँ डिसिजन मेकिङ थियो नि होइन अहिले the more the world's becoming more globalized and I think we are leaning towards individualism more, okay? It's all about how you feel, you know what your family thinks, not what your clan thinks, not what your society thinks, but it's like what you want to do, you know? Once you give all that pressure and all that decision-making power to one person, with all that option, what next? But then parents are good time there was limited options and most of the decisions were made by parents or society or what they told and they would just listen to them which kind of made but it made things simpler
definitely simpler yes
I know
just a rule of thumb but it solves like it would help like majority of people
yeah अनि लाइक दे देमसेल्फ वुड बिलिभ नि त मैले त यस्तै गर्नुपर्ने रहेछ मेरो त लाइक हुन्छ नि सोसाइटीमा यस्तो गर्यो भने राम्रो हुन्छ अर लाइक हुन्छ नि दिस इज वाट आम दे बिलिभ इन द्याट नि त आफ्नो सेल्फ बिलिभ पनि हुन्छ सो द्याट गोस
बट आई थिङ्क अहिले लाइक स्ट्रगल भनेकै हुन्छ नि सुड यु लाइक प्लान अहेड ओर गो विथ द फ्लो खाले क्या हुन्छ नि अब एक्सप्लेन भन्नाले अहिले वाट नेक्स्ट भन्दाखेरि द रिजन वाइ मोस्ट पिपल गेट सो ओभरवेल्म्ड इज बिकज दे फिल भेरी अनप्रिपेयर्ड के लाइक ओके आई डोन्ट नो माई सिट लाइक आई डोन्ट नो वाट आई वान्ट डु खालेको हुन्छ नि बट लाइक त्यो फेरि हुन्छ नि म चाहिँ पर्सनली आई फिल लाइक आम सो caught up between should I literally intricately plan my life out or should I like enjoy it and go with the flow
live the moment
because both of it sounds equally promising because like a lot of people they know what they're doing like oh ma yo pachi yo garchu अनि त्यसपछि हुन्छ नि I'll get this job which will help me in my yo wala venture which I want to do it when I'm 30 and then I'll get married and it's just the khali हुन्छ नि you see that people and like that's commendable if anyone can
have your shit figured out
yeah that's actually commendable and like then I see people who are like हुन्छ नि a hippie way ma they're living the moment हुन्छ नि let's see where life takes me खालेको अनि where exactly do I belong khali feel hune kya त्यस्तो बेला चाहिँ
that पनि is admirable
yeah exactly
just not caring about tomorrow and just living in the moment and you actually look at their eyes and they're actually happy they're not worried about anything they don't think about tomorrow
exactly I don't
living
know,
in the moment
social media le garda pani तर social media and then like because we've like met these people like seeing these people in real life so tele garda chai sometimes it's a little intimidating I would say so I don't know the balance
and also like huncha ni we always talk about पहिलेको मान्छेहरू अनि अहिलेको मान्छेहरू our generation and you know the generation after us but पहिले there were limited options and पहिले before social media or before any of like globalization हुन्छ नि we were limited to a certain amount of things हुन्छ नि नेपालमा पहिले जे थियो people were just exposed to those things and those limited opportunities and limited professions तिमीलाई जे थाहा हुन्छ त्यही त गर्नु मन लाग्छ नि if you've never seen हुन्छ नि I know astronaut take off in moon like you would never even think that's an option
right
I know kind of but then now with social media and like so much exposure हुन्छ नि it's like oh shit like त्यहाँ त त्यो पनि गर्नु मिल्छ त्यो पनि गर्नु मिल्छ त्यो पनि गर्नु मिल्छ त्यो पनि and for people like us we want to do everything we want to learn everything we want to do everything हुन्छ नि we want to be everywhere then again त्यही cross section मा पुग्छ के चाहिँ गर्ने के चाहिँ गर्ने and whatever you're doing you're always like shit like हुन्छ नि we're missing out कि जस्तो लाग्छ नि do you have that feeling
yeah man definitely wild
I don't think like हुन्छ नि humans were ever programmed to have so much information around the world अनि फेरि अब के भन्ने मलाई चाहिँ पर्सनली हुन्छ नि nowadays I'm like trying to be active on social media and at least like keeping up with all the global news and social issues that's going on around the world. Okay? So not just like अनि मलाई चाहिँ अब the more you keep up with this like social issues and like what's in things that's going around in the world हुन्छ नि अनि you feel like if you're not contributing to that you're doing something like wrong खाले के बुझ्यौ because अब India there's this huge farmers protest going on from the last like 2 months हुन्छ नि and I'm like actively हुन्छ नि updating myself about what's going on around the world अनि like अब Russia there's this huge protest भर्खरै हुन्छ नि अब Putinको against हुन्छ नि going on like everything that's going on अब नेपालमा त कुरै नगरौँ नेपालमा त हाम्रो घरमै like हुन्छ नि like I don't know what's going to happen next okay? The political situation is all over the place हुन्छ नि अनि when you're like constantly updated about all these things and like आफ्नो लाइफै अलिकति insignificant त नभनौँ तर कहाँ चाहिँ where do I place myself in all of this mess जस्तो हुने क्या do you get what I'm saying
I think so
हुन्छ नि अब केही राम्रो हुन्छ नि अब मैले चाहिँ सपोज हुन्छ नि if I like think about starting a new business or doing something it's like shit like worldमा यस्तो कुरा भइरहेछ and you want to make money now त्यस्तो हुने क्या कहिलेकाहीँ बुझ्यौ कहिलेकाहीँ it's a small voice but it is a voice क्या within me हुन्छ नि it's a small त्यो भए पनि like हुन्छ नि I still feel that way I'm just like speaking my heart out अहिले
no, that's nice
yeah that again adds to the confusion क्या so what next भयो
गर्न चाहिँ के गरौँ त okay fine okay ल okay even if you decide you don't want to make money how can you actually contribute to make this big mess at least a smaller mess खालीको
but to like अब यस्तो हो के to be like एकदमै realistic this is actually one of the most peaceful times in world history के
त्यो त
हुन्छ नि there were like wars and people killing themselves and like हुन्छ नि अब one country taking over the other हुन्छ नि there were constant wars like throughout the last few centuries नि भइरहेको थियो के अहिले त this is more एकदमै settled हो क्या खास गरी but then since we are like so active about all these things like we feel like it's near to us हुन्छ नि we're like constantly भइरहेछ अनि we're like bombarded with all this information अनि त्यसले गर्दा नि प्यारालाइज हुन्छ क्या न पहिले पनि अब वर्ल्ड वारमा भइरहेको बेला सबै लाइभ भिडियो यसरी पाएको भए त मान्छेहरू साइको हुन्थेन सोच्नु नि इमेजिन गर न होइन त्यो टाइमदेखि त यो त एकदमै दिस इज लाइक वर्ल्ड ध्यान गरेर बसे जस्तो पिसफुल हो क्या इफ यु कम्पेयर इट हुन्छ नि बट देन सिन्स वी आर सो एक्टिभ एन्ड सिन्स वी यु नो सी अल दिस थिङ्स एभ्री सिङ्गल डे वी फिल लाइक there's more chaos going on in the world where like if you see the numbers that might not be true
right that's true but okay this is like completely external and bairako chaos bhanau na but what do you think we should as youths let's say or 20s ko mancheharu what do you think we should focus on more okay what are the few things that we should like prioritize
and for a long period of time I always thought like 20s was for yourself and it's just like you know F everything else around you and 20s ma you just have to focus on yourself and build yourself to actually be capable enough to contribute to the society later हुन्छ नि तिमीले आफैलाई नै बनाएन if you don't know yourself how you going to be able to do good जस्तो हुन्थ्यो हैन but I think like slowly that is kind of changed for me yeah हुन्छ नि I don't think that's the way and I'm trying to figure out what is the way
okay
हुन्छ नि
I was going to ask what is the way
yeah being selfishly motivated kind of is a wrong motivation के and it makes you see things in black and white हुन्छ नि तिमी त्यो माइन्डसेटमा पुग्छौ के there's a winner and a loser हुन्छ नि there's good and there's bad तर if you actually open your eyes and see the world is in grays हुन्छ नि अनि आई थिङ्क लाइक मलाई चाहिँ त्यो ग्रे चाहिँ अहिले डिस्टिङ्ग्विस प्रोसेस गर्न चाहिँ गाह्रो भएको स्टेजमा छु जस्तो लाग्छ कि मलाई चाहिँ
या आई थिङ्क द्याट्स भेरी रिलेटेबल यार टु मोस्ट अफ अस आइड से
बिकज हुन्छ नि म चाहिँ अब from the time हुन्छ नि I अब sociology अनि like sociology psychology like all these logiesहरू मलाई एकदमै मनपर्ने सब्जेक्ट्सहरू के and all these theories हुन्छ नि about capitalism communism everything हुन्छ नि these ideologies really हुन्छ नि मलाई चाहिँ क्या connect हुने के and the first time I heard about first time we learned about capitalism and the differences the different classes हुन्छ नि bourgeoisie र proletarian भन्ने हामी जुन पढ्थ्यो नि I always imagine myself as the bourgeoisie and I was like होइन म बवाल काम गर्छु and I will be in that top 1% and like हुन्छ नि so my motivation नै त्यहाँबाट थियो के I was a hardcore हुन्छ नि capitalism like is the way to go हैन capitalism नै हो सबभन्दा राम्रो हुन्छ नि there's no flaws to it like त्यसै नै गर्नुपर्छ there has to be big businesses which provide opportunities हुन्छ नि and make and there was म चाहिँ लाइक हुन्छ नि टु बी सक्सेसफुल बिकज हामीले पढ्दाखेरि नि who would want to be a politician भन न पढ्दाखेरि के होइन अनि मी बिइङ द्याट हुन्छ नि सुपर मोटिभेटेड यङ हट ब्लडेड guy हुन्छ नि I wanted to like work towards being on the top हुन्छ नि that was my motivation in life and like be that bourgeoisie खाले त्यसले गर्दा नि थियो के अनि त्यो गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ you see people as winners and losers के बुझ्यो when you are in that mindset you can distinguish things के and you will see people as like you will add तिमीले मान्छेहरूलाई हेर्दाखेरि नै the way you talk नै it'll be with the value they have in the society के with the value they create in the society के I was in that mindset for a couple of भनौँ न quite some time हुन्छ नि and मलाई चाहिँ I had to be like the hardest worker हुन्छ नि काम गर grind be that 1% हुन्छ नि that is the only way like you will have value in this society and like be on the top of the social hierarchy हुन्छ नि
अनि मलाई त्यो के YouTube मा मोटिभेशनल भिडियोजहरुको हुन्छ नि
yeah obviously bro I was at one point of time I would wake up and like हुन्छ नि त्यो morning motivation हुन्छ नि त्यो बिहान त्यो 5 it's like bro like if anybody is like listening to it if it wakes you up it's fine but that shit is draining okay? When I used to wake up in the morning and play that and brush my teeth like त्यो hardcore motivation दिरा हुन्छ नि like I know successful people don't sleep 8 hours a day खाली हुन्छ नि त्यस्तो त्यो you get it so that was my motivation okay? But then that's changed okay? The past year
for
that's
good.
Yeah
for good
that's changed man because still I see people obviously there are people who like that's the way to go for them
right
and that is the motivation that everybody seeks for okay everybody wants to like who's in the bottom percent they want to be in the top 50% who's in the top 50% they always want to go higher up in the pyramid the social hierarchy pyramid if you Peterson धेरै पढेर होला यार यो social hierarchy
maybe yet I was about to ask you something you get so carried away
but yeah like I'm just trying to say that these kind of motivation is kind of draining okay?
That's very draining yaar
हुन्छ नि
म त like त्यो bourgeoisieहरु पढ्दाखेरि त I didn't really identify myself as any of those but I just like हुन्छ नि कस्तो distant observer जस्तो गरेर त्यो
so
चाहिँ
like
थियो
a
क्या
third party viewer
viewer खाले थियो क्या
yeah
अनि like trying to know why what is wrong खालेको क्या why that's wrong or why what can be better खालेको so त्यो चाहिँ I can't relate to but I completely understand where you're coming from हुन्छ नि about that यार तिमी त्यो अति मोटिभेशनल त्यो भिडियोहरु हेरेर नि होला त्यस्तो भएको
yeah I was in that mindset like I would not like want to stop the grind हुन्छ नि I would be like हुन्छ नि if I don't हुन्छ नि grind like 12 hours a day every single day I'm gonna be left out in the race खाले क्या हुन्छ नि बुझ्यौ so मलाई like हुन्छ नि I was like हुन्छ नि हैन साथीहरुसँग बसे पनि that's a waste of time हुन्छ नि बसेर like त्यो के गर्यो भने that's a waste of time you just need to hustle खाले क्या
the 20s for yourself
yeah so that was kind of हुन्छ नि 20s मा मैले coming back to 20s मा के गर्नु पर्छ अनि we think
right
20s मा चाहिँ hustle गर्नु पर्छ जुन कल्चर छ नि and this is where I got to के सबैजनालाई पिछा छोडेर आफू चाहिँ रेसमा सबभन्दा अगाडि जानुपर्छ भनेर हैन but then I was reading Marcus Aurelius को his meditations भन्ने yeah त्यसमा चाहिँ there's this short paragraph where he says what's not good for the swarm is not good for the bee हैन
right
so त्यही त even though तिमी नेपालमा बसेर धनी भयो and you're like on the top of the pyramid what are you gonna do हुन्छ नि what are you gonna do with all the expensive cars हुन्छ नि when there's like no roads हुन्छ नि
sad reality यार हाम्रो
so what are you gonna do with like हुन्छ नि जति ठुलो घर भए पनि पानी आउँदैन हैन that's actually the truth के like तिमी जतिसुकै धनी भए पनि पानी अझै पनि किनेर ट्याङ्कर मगाएर उ गरे पनि that's still a hassle हैन तिमी जति ठुलो गाडी किने पनि you still gonna have to you know drive on the same roads अनि this हाम्रो जुन मेन्टालिटी छ नि एक्लै राम्रो गर्नुपर्छ तिमी चाहिँ सक्सेसफुल हुनुपर्छ तिमी चाहिँ we're always taught to be तिमी जितेर खाऊ खाली के बुझ्यौ सबलाई जितेर खानुपर्छ सबलाई उ गर्नुपर्छ but we never actually taught to like हुन्छ नि live in a society and actually contribute and help the people around us grow with us के हामीले त्यो चाहिँ सिकाउँदैन के हाम्रो and education system ले पनि सिकाउँदैन and I don't think हाम्रो like घरमा पनि त्यस्तो साह्रो you know these kind of things are motivate like these kind of things are promoted
right तर yeah that can get toxic हैन if it goes to a very extreme extent like तिमीले explain गरे जस्तै but then that's important भन्नाले self care is important
like
but you have to prioritize yourself and do the things you love खाले के
yeah
that is one of the things that we should focus on while we're in 20s or like even when you're in your 30s or 40s like हुन्छ नि because like मैले त्यो remember I told you about the book I was reading the defining decade भनेर
yeah
so basically that book is about why your 20s is so fucking important भनेर के अनि त्यसमा चाहिँ it does talk about this it talks about identity capital भन्छ क्या उसले चाहिँ so like basically doing things that you love हुन्छ नि doing it like त्यसलाई prioritize गरेर गर्नु पर्यो भनेर भन्छ क्या but there are also sections where she talks about relationships के about your relationship not just the romantic relationships but then your relationship with your friends हैन with your neighbors or that bus driver in your boss or whatever के so उसले चाहिँ like त्यो बुकमा चाहिँ she talks more about weak ties के like strong ties is like the strong relationships you have हैन तिम्रो best friends or like तिम्रो family member or whatever but उसले चाहिँ prioritize गर्ने mostly चाहिँ is about weak ties के like these are people you wave like तिम्रो high school को साथी who you used to go with college मा हुन्छ नि same bus मा or like तिम्रो bus driver or हुन्छ नि neighborhood जसलाई चाहिँ बिहान तिमी जसले good morning भन्छ just like हुन्छ नि just hi hello खालेको relationshiप्सहरु के and she talks a lot about why those relationships are so important because apparently कतिवटा हुन्छ नि according to a lot of research यस्तो weak ties हरुले चाहिँ they actually help you build your career भन्छ क्या अब if you have like यस्तो weak ties हरुले चाहिँ they'll connect you to people हुन्छ नि यिनीहरुले चाहिँ they'll you know कुनै जबहरु छ भने they'll like refer to you so सानो कुरामा चाहिँ help गर्छ and it's also important to like you know build relationships भन्छ क्या not just work तर also value relationships खाले भनेर भन्छ क्या and I think that was like really nice man because if you think about it तिम्रो strong ties तिम्रो हुन्छ नि एकदम मिल्ने साथीहरु नै sometimes they weigh you down के because you're so comfortable around them you're so हुन्छ नि used to how they talk and what they talk there's no need to communicate well के
मलाई चाहिँ like यो कुरा भन्ने चाहिँ obviously हुन्छ नि in a small country like Nepal where like most of the कामहरु come from PR and like word of mouth के हुन्छ नि okay suppose I have a company and I need to do some branding work right now and I'll ask my friend के तँलाई कोही branding गर्ने मान्छे थाहा छ भनेर and like उसले जे भन्छ म त्यसलाई नै दिदिन्छु के that is how like things work in Nepal हुन्छ नि तर again coming back to हुन्छ नि what we talk about हुन्छ नि there's another flip side to it हुन्छ नि it's like quality over quantity man हुन्छ नि keep your circle small खाली जुन चाहिँ कुराहरु छ नि What do you think about that?
No, I mean, definitely, yeah. I mean, you wouldn't want to like share
Everything
to
with everyone randomly.
But like all it's trying is like even to say strong ties boy, limited people you hang out with and like share everything, like become vulnerable in front of Khaliko. But then these weak ties are people who are outside your group, ke?
Who'll actually know what you do, and so
you
they
just
can
know
like,
what you do, Khaliko, ke? And like these people can help you in different parts of your life, different stages of your life. You don't have to like be all, oh my god, my bestie to all your weak ties. Okay, it's just like people you meet and they might like help you, and you might be someone's weak tie too, and you can like help them out. Khaliko kura ho ke chai.
All right, got it.
Ani like your weak ties ko kura ma chai weak ties can be people who are like more successful than you. And like the seniors that we look up to, like senior dai, didiharu who are like doing well, Khaliko, but you just like know them, Khaliko. Ani त्यही हो यस्तो weak ties haru चाहिँ बनाउनु पर्छ. You have to be social भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ it is mentioned, okay?
Okay.
So yeah.
So 20s ma you need to say hi, hello to as many people as possible.
Oversimplification भयो, but
that is what it
like,
is.
Really
at least like at least kind of
you have to be at least social,
social in your 20s, so you build that PR, your people know you, khali.
Yeah,
all right. So next time you're going to farmers markets, say hi to everybody you know. If you're in your 20s.
No man, you're like सबले गर्नु पर्ने. Like how do you not say hi to people you know, man?
तर त्यो awkwardness हुन्छ नि त. मैले त्यसलाई कहाँ देखे हो, तर गएर बोलौँ कि नबोलौँ,
कसरी सोशल मिडियाले चाहिँ लाइक अलिकति awkward चाहिँ पार्छ हुन्छ
नि. Because you've seen you daily like Instagram मा देखिरा हुन्छ, and you see them हुन्छ नि Saturday farmers market मा गएर, and they're like हुन्छ नि with their friends doing what they, and like कस्तो like hi भनौँ कि नभनौँ, and they look at you and you look at them, but they look back, अब hi भन्नु is too awkward.
Bro, it's something like even awkward kura is when you've stalked them. And you know shit about them, I know. And then you see them and like they give you that vibe that they've stalked you too. Can't relate? Okay.
Can't relate. I don't think many people stalk me.
I stalk people, man. Banale. I mean, it's not even like something ekdam creepy kura pani haina ke. It's just like newsfeed ma auncha, and you just like tap the tagged person and you just like go through it and you just like know them. Now you know them, but you're not sure if they know you.
Creepy stalker alert.
I'm not really a stalker, please don't say that. But like 20s ma ta त्यही नै हो यार. A lot of options to choose from, and we have that mentality huncha ni that early specialization is the best thing khali ke. For you to become very successful, you have to start something when you're like really young, like child prodigy,
हुने बिरुवाको चिल्लो पात.
Like पहिलादेखि नै होइन यस्तो गर्नलाई त I should have done this. Like हुन्छ नि म अति बवाल हुनलाई I should like really like I should have started really early खाले. Like 20s मा mostly like about 20s 30s मा नि people feel like हुन्छ नि होइन म तब हुन्छ नि I've become quite old for this खालेको के.
Yeah.
Like हुन्छ नि म like I should have done this earlier खालेको र there's another panic that comes along with it भन्नु खोजे के. Is it like getting too late for me? Like हुन्छ नि BBA गरेर should I have अब like मलाई आर्ट्स म गर्न मन लागिरहेछ नि oh shit why did I study BBA खालेको. हुन्छ नि त्यो तिमीले भने जस्तो त्यो ट्रेड अफ खाले के.
Yeah.
So त्यो early specialization वाला कुरा पनि I think it obstructs a lot of people ko journey ke.
So you early specialization नगर्ने?
No, नगर्ने को कुरा हैन के त्यो early specialization is the only way you can excel खालेको त्यो mindset के. त्यसले चाहिँ like obstructs a lot of people ko journey भने के. Because if you see like हुन्छ नि see the data, the most successful entrepreneurs they are like in their mid 40s ke. 45 ma most of the entrepreneurs हुन्छ नि who've been successful, they've started their venture when they're 45 ke. And if you think about it, that makes sense ke. Entrepreneurship is not something like everyone can do ni ta. It like you have to gather knowledge, you have to gather experiences हुन्छ नि. And if you're like just हुन्छ नि scared that okay म त अब ढिलो भइसक्यो मैले गर्न अगाडि नै स्टार्ट गर्नु पर्ने भनेर त्योमा if you go in that vicious circle you won't ever start ke.
है I think it's the same thing with most things, man. Like, abo, you put a time cap on something. But you put a time cap on something, and त्यसले गर्दा it just builds more anxiety. के suppose अब you अब तिमीले जस्तै भन्यो नि people have their life planned out हैन म यति पछि यति गर्छु यो पछि यो गर्छु यो पछि यो गर्छु which is necessary, but then like त्यही time gap ले गर्दाखेरि it also builds anxiety के suppose if you like हुन्छ नि limit yourself म 24 सम्म I'll finish my masters गर्यो भने you're putting a time cap on that. As you get older, you've not तिमीले गरेको छैन suppose हुन्छ नि तिमीले भनेको कोर्स पाएन or like तिमीले भनेको युनिभर्सिटी पाएन or pandemic happened हुन्छ नि and like circumstances हरुले तिमीले गर्न पाएन, it's just going to add to like you panicking, and त्यो panic ले गर्दाखेरि तिमी झनै काम गर्न सक्दैनौ के त्यही त. What about the हुन्छ नि life, my life should look better on Facebook. After graduation and being fixed on the college process, many students feel they're failing in their 20s because they don't know how to get an A anymore. They're used to having a formula of success and now they're gone. They feel lost.
No, this is about how social media plays a huge role, where when you're like comparing yourself, okay? Oh, like when I was talking about people who have their shit figured out and people who are like living just in the moment and like the hippie life. That's like मैले compare गरेर हो नि त मेरो life अरूहरुसँग, which I shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
Like I should be focusing on like मेरो life, what I like, discovering what makes me happy खालेको नि त. But because we have access to अरूको personal life हरु पनि, personal life भन्दा पनि what people put up
are doing,
yeah हुन्छ नि, because it's chances are it's probably not true हुन्छ नि most of them को, unlike we're comparing that with our life के, so it's definitely going to add a lot of anxiety to it भन्न खोजेको के.
अनि अब यो बुकमा अहिले भर्खर I'm just like going through the summary and it also says that when you're in your हुन्छ नि education field हुन्छ नि तिम्रो त्यति बेला त you have a clear image of success नि त. त्यति बेला success basically means getting good grades, getting an A हुन्छ नि, and there is a set formula to that हुन्छ नि.
Right.
If you get an A, you're happy हुन्छ नि, and you know how to get an A. यसो पढ्यो भने A आउँछ. But then like when you finish your education and you go to life, there is no A. There is no grading and there is no formula to get an A, and then you're lost. That's how I think like यो काम सिदिने यो हुन्छ नि पढाइ सिदिने बित्तिकै the what next question becomes even more डरलाग्दो के हुन्छ नि.
It's scary, man. Definitely is. Like हुन्छ नि you're like made to tell what your future is supposed to look like के. How
do you see yourself in 5 years? Oh my God. How do you see yourself in 10 years?
Bro, त्यो question जस्तो झाउ लाग्ने question त के पनि हैन यार. I mean हामी कस्तो exponentially grow हुन्छ क्या. I mean it's nice to have a plan. I mean 5 years सम्म त ठीक छ भनौं न. Like 5 years सम्म like you can at least, you should have some sort of structure as in what you want to do खालेको हैन at this age probably. But like 10 years त like
yeah.
Bro, like 10 years like 22, 12 भन्दाखेरि were you like imagining yourself like this when I get?
Nah, not at all. People tend to overestimate what they can do in 1 year and underestimate what they can do in 10 years. हुन्छ नि बुझ्यो? Because I don't think people can imagine themselves 10 years हुन्छ नि.
Yeah.
But we read a lot about the power of habits and we read a lot about हुन्छ नि how that compound interest भन्ने कुरा हुन्छ नि life मा.
Because it's not linear नि त.
Yeah.
It's exponential.
Yeah. It goes like a swamp for a certain period of time, then that adds up and like takes off. Okay?
Yeah.
Kind of. And so I think like we always अनि त्यसले गर्दा चाहिँ हुन्छ नि when we put a time cap of like हुन्छ नि 1 वर्ष म यस्तो गर्छु 1 वर्ष यस्तो गर्छु and like people we tend to overestimate what we can do. Okay? But then like 10 वर्ष if you like keep at it constantly.
Yeah.
हुन्छ नि 10 years मा you will go a long way.
10 years को त कुरा न 5 years नि.
Yeah.
Bro 10 years back someone like internet or अहिले जे कुराहरु इन्भेन्ट भएको थियो नि त्यो कसैले इमेजिन नै गर्न सकेको थिएन के. So like how do you tell people हुन्छ नि how you see yourself in like 10 years भनेर के. That's such a bullshit question लाग्छ मलाई चाहिँ. 10 years is a really long time, man. 5 years some okay considered. 10 years is like nah. Not really.
A decade.
No, I was going to talk about defining decade pani, and it talks a lot about relationship, now romantic relationships.
Okay, so we've covered the
work,
low ties, weak ties. So weak ties, relationships. Now we're getting into
capital, and it talks about relationships. It talks a lot about a lot of relationships, and especially like alikati upani cha, as in relate गर्न नमिल्ने कुराहरु छ, because it talks a lot about living in relationship, live-in relationshipहरु, and how that is not very good for marriage खाले के. Because live-in बाहिरको लागि अब people, they just date, and after some point they just start living together to save cost, because like it's so much easier to live together, सस्तो to live together than to live alone नि त. And like looks good, and they just start like they just like one day decide to get married, but then they forget to have the conversations as to okay, marriage पछि चाहिँ like what are our roles, what are our boundaries, त्यस्तो गर्न नसकेर चाहिँ it actually successful हुँदैन भन्छ क्या marriages चाहिँ. Mostly people who've stayed in a live-in relationship. But what I'm getting at is it talks about marriage, okay? And why that you should get married in
your 20s.
Not in your 20s, man. 20s is like 20s भन्दा पनि like right age मा बिहा चाहिँ गर्नुपर्छ भन्छ क्या.
We talk about that.
Yeah. So first thing is like fertility. Fertility, like आजकल अहिलेको एजमा झन् there are like a lot of infertility happening. So it's better for both men and women to get married before 40s. Because बच्चा पाउनलाई 40s, like अलिकति early 40s, mid 40s तिर गाह्रो हुन्छ obviously. So it talks a lot about हुन्छ नि टाइममा चाहिँ बिहा गर है खाले क्या. अनि another interesting कुरा was if you get married at like a very अलिकति हुन्छ नि mid 40s त्यस्तोतिर बिहा गर्यो भने, if you think about it biologically, you'll be in a position where you'll have to look after your baby, हैन. अब if you have अब like ढिलो बिहा गर्यो भने you'll have to look after your baby, but at that point तिम्रो पेरेन्ट्सहरु पनि अलिकति बुढाबुढी भइसक्छ नि त, and you'll also have to look after your parents के. So you're in a position where आफ्नो पनि एज ढल्किरहेछ, बच्चा पनि is like dependent on you, and पेरेन्ट्सहरु पनि are like weak के.
Then you also have your career.
Yeah. So logically चाहिँ उले हुन्छ नि it's better to get married in the right age भनेर त्यसरी भनेको थियो क्या. Which makes sense, but कतिको relatable हुन्छ हुँदैन is up to you definitely. And whether you actually want to get married or not पनि that's completely different, but this is for people who want to have that conventional lifestyle.
Marriage like conventional no भन्नु man. I think like हुन्छ नि अहिलेको generation we feel like marriage is a very far-fetched and foreign concept जस्तो पनि कहिले लाग्छ के. It's like I don't like हुन्छ नि I don't think हाम्रो
मैले conventional भनेको चाहिँ like because that is what most people do भन्नु खोजेको के.
I don't think like हाम्रो generation को most people are like very excited to get married.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like calling it a foreign subject हुन्छ नि.
No, I mean that's why I'm calling it conventional के.
Yeah, okay. So like I don't think like हुन्छ नि we'll ever like हुन्छ नि I've never like sat down with मेरो केटाहरु and like talked about oh yeah bro बिहा गर्नु पर्यो यार खाली हुन्छ नि. I don't think
यो एजमा त I don't think कसैले कुरा गर्छ त्यस्तो.
But then just imagine our parents when they were 22 okay.
I don't think we should compare ourselves with our parents ko generation.
I'm just like talking about the generation okay. And I think like the thing you talked about so it makes sense eh.
I know, so, logically that makes sense ke.
Because yeah तिमीले भने नि जस्तो suppose like 40s मा गएर you get married and then you have your baby so you have to look after your baby and plus you like parents as well.
Also have to look after your parents.
But then if you like kind of get married a little early तिमीले the book ले suggest गरे जस्तो हुन्छ नि maybe in your 30s or something हुन्छ नि early 30s is a good place to start and
yes
त्यति बेला if you get married so you have kids then you have your career booming. Hopefully.
You can get back
and you have your career booming and then you have your parents who are like capable enough to look after your kids because they're also like probably retired and they have a lot of free time. So the grandparents looking after their grandkids are also like
yeah,
nice. So you can like leave your kids with your
Yeah.
parents, and then you can like focus on your career. And when they're old enough,
yeah.
same thing happens.
I swear your book पढ्दा it really reminded me of my mom यार. Because she's like always like हुन्छ नि बिहा गर टाइममा अनि like हुन्छ नि बच्चा पाउ अनि I'll look after your baby and
So
you
you
can get
can
back on your work खालिको क्या.
But that
Which is
makes
very
sense,
sweet
ni, no?
and that's actually very logical. But
I know. We think
please
about
let me
we like
take my time.
no, and if I think like हाम्रो generation कस्तो छ भन्दाखेरि we're like until and unless we go and build ourselves up and we have a stable career, त्यति बेलासम्म बिहा नगर्ने खाले त्यो जिद्दी पनि छ के. But then I think अहिले चाहिँ it's much more harder and takes a lot of longer for हुन्छ नि त्यो लाइनमा पुग्न के.
Right.
Because पहिले I think like people started working earlier, people started earning more earlier. The earnings
they got
worldwide.
married earlier, man.
Yeah.
They had kids earlier.
Exactly.
And I think like all of that was एकैचोटी. अनि they got done with it एकैचोटी के. It's so hard to imagine हुन्छ नि like okay तिम्रो career बल्ल start भइरहेछ and you have like 2 kids and like हुन्छ नि look after अब हुन्छ नि पहिलाको त like joint family systemहरु पनि थियो त्यसमा नि बस्नु थियो and like बच्चालाई पनि हेर like relationship पनि like त्यसरी नै continue गर काम पनि गर bro यार त्यस्तो भयो भने त हामी त पागलै हुन्छ होला.
So many things, no?
Yeah, like how did they do it खाली हुन्छ क्या कहिलेकाहीँ हाम्रो पेरेन्ट्सहरु हुन्छ नि.
How do you think you would do it? now right now.
I don't know, man. That's like I know that's actually so challenging भने क्या.
It is, obviously it is.
Like हुन्छ नि त्यो youth भएर पनि you have that energy, you have that zeal, you have that motivation to do things नि त्यसले पनि गर्न सक्या हो के जस्तो लाग्छ. Because as you get older, like you start seeing a lot of things, you start seeing the world, you start seeing how difficult it is, you start seeing how chutia some people are हुन्छ नि, and like the door बढ्दै जान्छ जस्तो लाग्छ के. And you're like more, I don't know, you doubt yourself more and doubt people around you more खाले के. But when you're young, you're like हैन म गर्दिन्छु, like जस्तो च्यालेन्ज दिएन हैन म गर्छु गरेर देखाउँछु खालीको त्यो हुन्छ नि त. सो त्यसले गर्दा पनि म्यानेज गरे हो कि जस्तो लाग्छ क्या कहिलेकाहीँ. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
So according to the book, you should get married at the right age, not too early, not too late, but then like right age. So if you plan to have kids, your parents can look after it. Because so basically त्यही नै हो, like राम्ररी भन्दाखेरि हुन्छ नि, which makes a lot of sense हुन्छ नि. Because हामीले जति सुकै हुन्छ नि हाम्रो करियर यताउति भने पनि that is a huge part of your life के हुन्छ नि. we अब मैले त्यही भने नि we selflessly we're in this generation where like it's a very individualistic कुराहरू हैन. We don't tend to think about like all these things, but at the end of the day it all matters.
Yeah, definitely.
And keeping all of this in check is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
And your bookले भनेको makes a lot of sense to me also. I'll like consider this.
Yeah.
हुन्छ नि. So if whenever I plan to get married, I'll keep this in check and it's like they relate गर्नु हुँदैन खाली. If and when I get decide to get married, whatever. Yeah.
Oh God, yeah, marriage is so scary. Anyways.
After that.
But
another thing, marriage ko kura गर्दाखेरि also about relationships के हुन्छ नि. So I was thinking about this when I was driving, recently, and like pop culture or like sabai, in TV shows, movies, popularly, it's always shown that हुन्छ नि लाइफमा एकचोटि मात्र लभ हुन्छ खाले के. बुझ्यो? So love is something that only happens one. You will only find one person who are you're gonna spend the rest of your life with. And then what happens is like yei kura is like grilled into like a young teenager हुन्छ नि. And when they finally like हुन्छ नि get into a relationship हुन्छ नि, obviously your first
end all be all खालेको.
Exactly, your first relationship is like I don't know 15, 16, 17 whatever हुन्छ नि. त्यसो भन्दाखेरि like obviously that's not going to be like first timer, it's not going to be the right person for you, but then like you're so believed हुन्छ नि हैन first भनेको त like this is love हुन्छ नि, you have to make it work हुन्छ नि, and you will do anything and everything just to have that हुन्छ नि, because you're so afraid एकचोटि गएपछि त you're not going to be in love anymore or like फेरि हुँदैन खाले के हुन्छ नि. And you're like जतिसुकै टक्सिक भयो भने you will hold on to that because of this concept के बुझ्यौ?
Yeah, it's very important to leave at the right time यार.
No. I think it's very important to know that हुन्छ नि love भन्नेमा थाहा छैन, but then like relationships like happens and it's like good and it's bad and like you will meet like very special people and then they'll come into your life and they'll leave. You need to understand that there are very, very special people in your life that will come into your life. You'll have a good time, a bad time, whatever, but then they will leave. And the good thing about people leaving is there are like more people who will come into your life. Okay? So like to kids, whoever like they're in a relationship or whatever, like love is not a one-time thing. Relationship is not a one-time thing. It's not something like you have to like you will find many people. And you've not even traveled the world. Okay? Who knows? I know you have a thing for French girls or whatever. Now I'm just saying, okay, bro, for real. Like I think like
I get you.
You concept about like love sirf ek baar hota hai khali, that is so toxic. Okay?
Yeah, definitely.
So toxic because it makes you want to jatisukai bad bhayo pani not leave. Okay?
Right.
Makes you want to hold on to it because love to ek baar hi hota hai na. I can't leave khali.
My God. Yeah, I agree. Like to level of uche hunu huँदैन, but then it's nice to हुन्छ नि, like even if you're in a relationship, like give your 100%. We're not saying like हुन्छ नि, like half-assed love गर भन्नु खोजेको चाहिँ होइन.
Another thing, there's a flip side to it. Okay? Just like हुन्छ नि, another thing is like हुन्छ नि, अहिलेको generationमा there's so much options. You can just like Tinder every day, and it's like they don't put in a lot of effort. Okay? It takes a orko. So there's another flip side to that as well. Okay?
I mean, give your 100% obviously, but then you should know when it's getting toxic. Okay?
Yeah, you should always, I think, त्यो concept ma you always like be aware of the red flags.
Bro, yeah, like literally everything we talk about is about balance. Okay?
Yeah.
Literally, like हुन्छ नि, यो गर तर on the other hand. You pani ho hai types khali. It's everything is about balance.
Yeah. Coming back to it, do you think हामी दुवैजना we are like we try to understand all perspectives and we're not like absolutists,
extremists. Yeah.
Extremists, no? We're not like this is right and this is wrong, and we kind of try to see the whole world in grays. That's why it's like more difficult for people like us to make decisions because त्यो पनि ठीक हो हुन्छ नि.
I swear I've struggled with this, man. I've struggled with this.
Like we have no like हुन्छ नि, we actually admire people who kind of find their हुन्छ नि true love at like I know at the age of 15 and they date and they get married and they have kids, like हुन्छ नि only date. That's amazing हुन्छ नि. But like I also like हुन्छ नि don't have any problem with people who are like हुन्छ नि, I know, dating every single person every single week or something. Just go on, man. Like, as long as you're not hurting anyone, just like live your life. हुन्छ नि. Like there's no right way to do it. Okay? Yeah. Same thing with careers and same thing with हुन्छ नि. If you wanna just like live for today and not think about a stable like the society ko stable career, it's like damn, man, like build a house on the hill हुन्छ नि, have your farm, grow your own food and like have fun, man. Yeah. But if you want to हुन्छ नि have that corporate life and 9 to 5 and like earn that I don't know how many figure salary and like get a car, हुन्छ नि, do that, man. Like everything is fine as long as you're happy, हुन्छ नि. As long as you're happy and you're not hurting anyone, it's like do your thing, हुन्छ नि. I think like that is why it's like hard for both of us to just like make a perfect decision because we like everything is so good, everything is so nice. जुनै path पनि ठीक छ के.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like I'm so indecisive. Okay?
That is what makes you indecisive because we're like so acceptable.
Like, like there's no like right or wrong. Like duita matra option. I see like 12 options. Okay? And it's so difficult to like paralysis to analyze garda. And it's like every damn time like I've been in the same situation twice. I know. First was there was option A and there was option B. And I was like, after thinking about it a lot, I'm like, okay, I'll go with A. And then I go home and then I regret. B was a better option probably.
Yeah.
And then I get to the same point again with the same options A and B. This time I'm going to go with B. So I'll regret A. Okay?
Yeah.
So at this point, I don't see like kune right wrong banda. Just like make a decision and make the best out of it, okay? Like आफूलाई चित्त बुझाउनु पर्छ खालेको हो क्या.
So there is no right or wrong decision, there is just decision.
Yeah.
तिमीले एउटा decision लिएपछि you can make it good or bad.
Exactly. Like learn from it हुन्छ नि त्यसपछि के गर. Like there is no हुन्छ नि like हैन यसमा चाहिँ like हुन्छ नि यो नै हो सबभन्दा optimal खाले चाहिँ हुँदैन क्या. It's just like your journey, like तिमी एकचोटि मात्र like बाँच्ने मौका पाउँछौ यो बडीमा हुन्छ नि यो इन्भाइरोमेन्टमा. like make the best out of it क्या. like हुन्छ नि because like same thing with chasing happiness क्या.
Yeah.
We're always like हुन्छ नि ल म यहाँ पुगेपछि I'll be happy. When I earn यति I'll be happy खालेको. always chasing that क्या. And I'm saying this again even though I've said it like a lot of times, I know. Like happiness कसम यार is what you make out of what you have right now, okay? If you're not happy now, you will never be happy at some point of your life. If you're not happy when you're poor, you will definitely not be happy when you're rich. If you're not happy when you're single, you will definitely not be happy when you're in a relationship, okay? So happiness is here and now. Just live in the moment. They were. Yeah.
We need a pause for that. Let people process it.
Yeah. But it's like still confusing क्या. Like even if हुन्छ नि यति धेरै कुरा सोचेर or like you know comprehend गरेर पनि still so difficult to live in the moment क्या.
Yeah.
I think half of your problems will be solved if you just live in the moment के. Like observe like साथीहरुसँग हुँदाखेरि.
So I know. So I kind of listen to Sadhguru once in a while, and he's really helped me. More anxious भयो भने I'll just listen to him, and like कुनै कुराहरु अलि हावा पनि गर्छ, but then most of the things are like really calming, okay? Just his voice and the way he talks, and he always talks about this, okay? Like हाम्रो suffering, you know, 90% of it, nobody's gonna come and like stab you. Like when was the last time somebody came and like hit you with a he's always giving this example, okay? Physically तिमीलाई hurt गर्न आउने भने एकदमै, because we live in a society now and we have like police and everything हुन्छ नि. Physically तिमीलाई hurt गर्न आउने is very like low chances, okay? You know, but then the kind of hurt that we like experience हुन्छ नि is like all mental, okay? No, the mental पनि किन हुन्छ भने because of two of the most extraordinary things that the human has हुन्छ नि, a very strong memory and extraordinary sense of imagination, okay?
Ooh.
बुझ्यो? So it's त्यो दुईटा कुराले चाहिँ is what makes us suffer, okay? You know, it's the memory that we have about our past. We're always replaying that, whether it's good. If it's good, we're like, I want to be there again. If it's bad, you're playing that and like suffering the same thing over and over again.
Right.
Another thing is your vivid sense of imagination. You're always imagining. You're having like a burger and always thinking about like, oh shit, like, or like, like you're doing something right now and you're always thinking about or like what is going to happen. If it's like something bad you're thinking about, you're going to get worried. La bholi ta mero, I don't know, kesi din cha or something. Or if you're like thinking about something static, you're not living in the moment. Right. So that's the two things that makes the humans suffer once again. Which kind of, made a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, definitely. Those are the reasons why we cannot live in the moment. Constantly worrying about the future and like living in your past will literally rob us of the present moment that we have.
Yeah.
And that's so sad. Because like present moment ma pani ta katti kuraharu bhaira hola ni ta. Why do you want to go back to the same old shit when you can probably recreate something better? So yeah, I think too. I think हामीले आज अति धेरै नै बडास निकाल्यो जस्तो आफ आफ्नो. I mean about life, about the what next or what if situations are.
So how do you want to conclude this? Because you've read books about the defining decade and orko book you were talking about. Yeah. Do you want to just like touch upon the range go?
Yeah, range is all about how specialization. I mean, kasto specialization like क्या idolize गर्छ नि त अब like athletes they started from when they were like 4 हुन्छ नि like musicians who they started when they were like when they couldn't even speak खालेको त्यस्तो कुराहरुलाई पुरा idolize गरेर हुन्छ नि त what it tries to say is like it's never too late भन्दाखेरि पनि even if you've tried a series of things that's actually better okay it'll just like add up later खालेको कुरा गर्छ नि it's like a very short book but very well researched it would be nice if everybody could read it yeah so that's that on range but like how I want to conclude आजको podcast from my side would be to live in the moment really like even if you're just you know sketching or you're just like just do music like be fully present when you do it जे गर्दाखेरि पनि क्या because like तिमी त्यो present moment लाई नै accumulate गरेर त्यो नै तिम्रो past नै हुने हो अनि त्यसलाई राम्रो गर्यो भने तिम्रो future पनि better हुने हो क्या you get what I'm saying so invest in the present moment and I think everybody should meditate because living in the moment is quite difficult really
yeah
because we have our mind which wanders so much तिमीले भने जस्तै अघि हुन्छ नि memory and imagination त्यो play गरेर हुन्छ and plus we have this phones
all the time
त्यही त like $1 billion companies हुन्छ नि trying to grab our attention
exactly
like every second हुन्छ नि like what are we in front of a $1 billion company
yeah
like Facebook Snapchat Instagram whatever they're literally fighting for our attention ni ta so it's difficult so please meditate
so no matter how cliche it sounds live in the moment
yeah sounds cliche but that's true man
I think like my conclusion to you know the what next question Anthony we always ask is life is not a race
yeah
you know there's no timeline to it there's no timeline like Anthony eti age ma eti garchu there's no timeline to it you know my good friend you know he will be on the podcast soon and you know he like I like vividly remember when he told me Anthony the day you quit the race is the day you win money again you know so I think like it's hard because we are like
so
tied
programmed.
up so tied up in this okay? So we are so tied up in this this you know sense of the race and the you know same old thing it's very difficult for us to step out of it it's not so simple
right
yeah but then I think you know to have that in mind Anthony to have that actually in mind that it's not a race you know you can take your own pace at your own pace always Anthony there's no fixed time to do this there's no fixed time to do that life is not a race and just like the day you step out of it is the day you win so I think that is the end to this episode
yep and we'd like to mention our sponsor Coffee 8848 they have like wonderful coffee so basically what you can do is just like tear this thing on यसभित्र चाहिँ you have a tea bag sort of thing but it actually makes good coffee
yeah
so
it's actually one of the best coffees I've ever had man
yeah,
and we've been having it for like ever since they've you know started giving it up but it's good it's really good I'm a huge coffee person and I can like definitely vouch for that
same
all right thank you
I think that's it for today's episode we'll see you guys in the next one bye